What is going on there, citizens of the Reject Nation? Greg, John, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am okay.
Well, you look great.
That's what I like to hear. Pushing through. And what you guys can push through to do is what can they do with this thumb?
Oh, they can put it up. They can leave a like
They
on
can leave
this
a
video.
like. This is called back and forth. Learn how to do it, people.
Banter.
The key to chemistry on camera is
Finishing
here on
each
display.
other's
questions.
Hey!
All right, guys. We got two pieces of Marvel to talk about. That Marvel train does not stop rolling in after this weekend. So much Marvel for the next couple of years. So much breaking news. So much information. So much so that we're going to be a day late to it, just like today. We got to talk about some X-Men updates, some major X-Men updates, and we got to talk about a major Avengers Kang Dynasty update as well. Two things I'm sure you've already heard about, but if you haven't, stick around, and if you already have, who knows, we might say something that's slightly different or more of the same that everyone else has said. That's where you got to stick around to find out. X-Men. So here's the main update. There's this report that's been going around that you could hear more details about, but the basic summary goes like this. Whoever played a character within the Fox X-Men universe, no one can contractually replace that actor, that character, until 2025 or after. So, take Ty Sheridan, everyone's favorite Cyclops. Everyone's like, yeah, that's my Cyclops. No one can replace Ty Sheridan.
Never.
Right now. But that also explains why you can get like Patrick Stewart at least to cameo as Professor X in Multiverse of Madness.
Or Evan Peters to not quite be Quicksilver, but sort of, probably because of all these rights issues.
But then it makes you question, like, maybe that's why they had Kamala Khan change to be, spoiler, a mutant versus an Inhuman. Now it's making me really believe the theories that have been going around about how, they're probably going to be gearing up to do a Mutants movie first before they actually do an X-Men movie. Like, they very well could just wait until 2025 or after, because it's kind of making me ponder, is this why they're churning out so many properties over the next couple of years so they can really finally do X-Men the way how everyone's been demanding and wanting? I say that, and the other part of me goes, well, they could just, spread out their properties a little bit more and just weave the X-Men in between, but they got a specific plan they got to adhere by, so I don't know what the reasoning might be, but that doesn't mean that we wouldn't be able to possibly still see some Fox X-Men characters within something like Avengers Secret Wars. This is the Multiverse Saga after all, is it not, Humphrey?
It is officially as of this weekend.
So with it being the Multiverse Saga, you could very well have some cool cameos in something like Secret Wars or even Kang Dynasty, where characters come together. Former ones, Hugh Jackman, 65 years old, because he will have aged 20 years in the next two.
Yep. Older man Logan.
Older man Logan. Or one of the other X-Men characters, so that way you do have the ultimate collision of all these characters, so you still get some mutants. And this news might bum people out because they gotta wait a little bit longer to hear something truly official. However, the Mutants universe is so massive, and that's been one of the biggest things to theorize, and why a lot of people have thought they're just gonna smash together some universes, because of the fact of how vast and how much it would change the world to have mutants within it. I'm like, well, you got a bunch of other characters you can pull from to make a Mutants movie without having to pull from the Fox X-Men ones. And that way it's even more rewarding when the patience pays off by the time you get to 2026, where it's just 2 straight years of X-Men.
Well, that's what I was thinking, because at first you see Phase 6, there's so many open slots, and some of them are in 2025, and you're like, oh, that's where the mutants are going. But they say, probably they can't even use or shoot anything even in advance until after that window is over. So I almost feel like, you could pay homage to the classic 20th century X-Men roster. Then after your big Secret Wars event, you can close that universe out officially, finally, send off any last threads that need it or deserve it, and then you can start fresh with a really sort of X-Men centric Phase 7.
Yeah, give Sophie Turner one last shot at being a Dark Phoenix.
One more Dark Phoenix saga.
One more Dark Phoenix, throw it in there. Yeah, that's the updates of that. Well, let it be a little more patient. They got a lot of properties to turn out, right man. Now. There's always the conversation of quantity over quality with Marvel. I definitely think, let them handle their projects, and then we'll get our X-Men and we'll be happy. The next one won't take as long to explain, but it is exciting. We were talking in our live stream about, who might the directors possibly be for Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars. Easy to theorize that whoever they got for Kang Dynasty would do Secret Wars. Now, did they confirm that this individual would be the one who would do Secret Wars as well, or is it only being reported for Kang Dynasty? I believe it's only Kang Dynasty.
The only report I've seen is specifically Kang Dynasty right now.
So, who's being reported right now, and we saw this on the Hollywood Reporter, to be directing Avengers Kang Dynasty? We had been theorizing, this was not one of the names we threw out there, but we were speculating that it would be a director who's helmed one of these movies from Phase 4 through Phase 6. They would go, you know what, they're doing, they know how to do the movie, like the way they did with Russo brothers.
Yeah.
And then we go, let's have them direct it, and we're going to be getting
Chloe
Zhao.
We
finish each other's sentences.
Destin Daniel Cretton. Shang-Chi.
Destin Daniel Cretton, who I think did an incredible job. When I was thinking about the movies that we've gotten so far within the MCU, that has one of the better ensemble films. Like, the whole ensemble really shines. Protagonist, antagonist, some side characters here or there. Like, the world was truly fleshed out, and they introduced so many new people and such a new world. I think Destin Daniel Cretton really nailed it. Like, it's not one of my favorite MCU films. It has some of my favorite action out of the MCU, and there's a lot of things that I would consider like favorite qualities of the MCU. However, I think for a first film and then to introduce so many things versus what the Russo brothers did, which was carrying on a character who was already introduced in 2 prior movies, I think he did an excellent job. I think what he displayed there definitely shows, yeah, I think he can pull off an Avengers level movie for sure, especially with what he did with scale, action, cast, and then he wouldn't have the worry of having to introduce a bunch of new people either. He can literally work with the machine. Who knows? Maybe he'll get fired or replaced. You know how these things go. As far as it goes, I think he's a solid pick. It would be interesting if they got one director for Dynasty and then a different director for Secret Wars.
Yeah, I think that could be actually a really cool collaborative thing where, yeah, it's like clearly this installment is by this director, but clearly they also coordinated. It could easily work out that he does both, but I almost wonder if they're going to film them simultaneously or something and have basically 2 units running. Yeah, it's not the name I threw out, and I wish I had, because thinking back, it's the movie I think of when I go, that movie had so much to do, Shang-Chi. It had so much to introduce, it had so much to juggle and manage while still telling something of an emotionally resonant and impactful story.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the amount of world building and balancing, that movie is like cranked to the extreme in terms of the economics of time and pacing.
True.
But I feel like of all the movies I've seen thus far in Phase 4, that is the one I point to, and I'm like, for what they had to cram into that amount of time, that's like about the smoothest I could imagine it being given the circumstances. And so yeah, he seems like a really solid choice on all fronts, managing the immense chaos, but also bringing some of that emotional weight, because you know there's going to be some heavier stuff coming, especially as we get into Phase 6, and I think that's a perfect territory for him.
One problem with it, he's not white.
You know,
issue.
That's the main. I don't know if he can really handle it, you know, because
we've had 3 white people helm the other Avengers movies, and I just think, you know, you don't want to fix.
Let's get Peyton Reed. Let's just stay safe and get Peyton Reed to direct both of the ends of the Avengers.
Don't try to fix what ain't broken. You know,
No,
that's
no,
just
no,
what I'm
no.
saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like there's a strong correlation between it.
White Marvel.
White Marvel all the way. Anyway, guys, what do you think about them getting an Asian guy to direct Avengers Kang Dynasty?
Like, half those characters aren't Asian. Like, why would they need his
I don't
insight?
understand. This doesn't make sense.
No.
This doesn't make sense.
No. We riot.
No.
Not my Shang-Chi, not my Kang Dynasty. You get the point.
What do you guys think about this X-Men news? Is it a bummer to you? What do you guys think about Destin Daniel Cretton? Do you think he's the right pick for Avengers Kang Dynasty? Leave your thoughts down below. Please do subscribe, click that notification bell, leave a like, and hey, let's end this with a
Gene Jeter, it's another Comic-Con. But even more than that, my friend, your birthday is coming up, my dude. So I thought, who better to shout out on a Comic-Con video? Is it Wakanda Forever? Maybe. I don't know yet. I don't know what's coming out, man. But I do know that you are a mensch, and I'm glad that you're here with us. And, hey, leave me, a charming voice message in your inbox, and keep doing what you do. I'm looking forward, to the next Real Rejects cringe laugh compilation, Quantumania station. What a marvel it will be. Puns, puns, puns. Love you, buddy. Be well.